Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into the Let's Look Brad channel. So I have a penny box here. I've been itching to dig into it all day. It's been like a 15-hour day today at work, so I'm actually here. It's dark outside, but I want to get to it. So I went ahead and got myself a cheeseburger with some waffle fries and the penny box ready. So let me go ahead and get to that last pop there. Just want to let you know that it wasn't opened previously. Pop it on open and see if we've got any enders here. Not seeing anything for the Wheaties wise on here, but it's definitely a circulated box. 2021s, 2022 showing there, probably a 23 or so. Anyhow, I'm gonna go ahead and rip off the sides here and let's get started. I found something, I will bring you right back in. Well, I've worked through 12 rolls right now. And it's actually quite a few variety years here. And now, trying to clear my throat. And then now, there is a lot of these 1985s that are really nice. There's a nice 1990D. There's a lot of different dates here to look at. 69s, 92s. There's a 65 there. But they're just really nice condition. This is always a nice thing, an awesome thing, is whenever I get to a different area and I'm able to get boxes or coins and look and see what they have. To get a better feel for it, I probably need about another 10 or 15 more boxes to more or less tell you that the area doesn't look very hard or it hasn't been hit very hard. Quite crazy that I found 2 W quarters the other day in a box, because where I'm at, it's usually drying up or I'm going through the same vault over and over again. So not a lot of coin varieties actually spitting out there. But anyhow, I did pull one Wheatie, and as mentioned, this is a 1920S. I'm actually kind of blown away that was in there, because I don't think I've pulled a 1920S. So that there will definitely be a slot filler in the album that I've got. And it's got pretty good details. I haven't looked under the scope at it yet, but I will here shortly whenever we do all of these at the end. So actually this right here I'm about to do right now to clear these, but between the 2009 Ds that I have, the nicer coins off to the side here, that's another 85D there I want to put up under the scope and look at. It's better than all these in condition wise. And then this one here was kind of interesting too. It's like a copper. So it's a copper 2005 Denver, but it's like I think it's just copper. So I weighed it, and I want to say it weighs a hair less than what the regular zinc ones do. So anyhow, quite surprising, but just got to bring you in and show you what I got so far. Only one Wheatie, the 2009s, and then the variety years. So I'm going to go ahead and go through these real quick and see if we got anything in there. And just to let you know, too, if you haven't watched Dirty Water Coins and Collectibles, his video that just popped up, it's crazy that I've got a gold ring here because I found it out of a metal detecting little venture I went the other day, and I found this. It says 16 karat, but I'm not for sure. It might be a little older, but he actually found a silver ring inside of his coin roll box. So if you haven't watched that, make sure you jump over there and watch that video. Pretty awesome. Anyhow, let me see if we get anything. If we do, I'll bring you in. If not, I'm going to continue on the box. Well, I knew to take the 1985s out, and I'm barely a few coins in, actually. And I have a 1985 under the scope here, and I was looking at it, and that D there, you see it's got something going on in the center here, and then on the outside here, which I was thinking it was RPM, which it looks good. It's all the way around. It's got nice edging and stuff like that. It's probably just not solidified all the way through for the D up top here, but you can definitely see a little indentation like it's wanting to go that way. So basically what would be the side here and then the edge coming off. And I looked up on Variety Vista, didn't find it, looked up on a couple of websites, actually went over to Wexler's guide, and Wexler's has this, I want to say, as a WRPM-002, and that would be for the 1985 Denver, and it is saying East. So that is an RPM East for the 1985 D. I honestly haven't checked. Let me swap hands. The gout in my left hand is pretty horrendous right now. Let's see. Let's just double check the wording through here since I've got you here. Make sure there's nothing else going on here. And make sure I'm zoomed out too. Yep, there we go. Not seeing anything there. Nothing on Liberty. Yep, and like I say, it just stands out. So when you come across it, you look, you're like, whoa. And like I say, I zoomed in on it. Then I looked up information on Wexler's Guide, and as I mentioned, Variety Vista, and then looked up PCGS, NGC, so forth, see if there was any varieties for that. But yeah, that's definitely going to be a D over D RPM there. Nice, cool find. I'm literally on the next coin out of the stack here. This is a 1984. Now, 1984s you want to look for the doubled ear on there. So the first thing I did was make sure I checked the date. Then I moved up to see if there was a doubled ear. And I was like, what is this? What is this? But whenever I was looking down here, I was like, that must be just some damage. I was like, all right, there's some damage there. Well, I wound up scooting it over here. And if you see, it comes in, there's a column, there's another column, there's another column. And right off the bat, I saw that too. Right off the bat, it dawned on me that this was going to be a pretty nice die clash. So if you scoot up over here, and I got to lean it just a little bit, but you can see right at his nose. See extra columns there at his nose? And then this extra piece there right above his head right here. And then when I flipped it over to the reverse and spin it upside down, because this way it's going to have to set. So spin it upside down to the reverse here, lift it just a little bit. See his head? Right up here is the back of his head. Goes over here to the forehead. Yep. You come down here to the bottom. There's where his coat or jacket would be at. There's some more going on right here too. So we've got ourselves a pretty nice die clash. And it might be inside, yeah, see right there, you can, that's cool. That's his chin, where his lips and everything. There's where his beard would come out at. So that's a pretty nice die clash. It goes right through the pillars here, where the back of his neck, I'm guessing, would come into his coat. And then go down here. Wow, that's a pretty nice die clash. That's awesome. So that's probably one of the better ones I've ever found, actually, out of a box. A nice little die chip right there, or die crack right there. But yet again, that's one of the nicer ones I've actually ever found out of the box. So, we've got ourselves a die clash. That's crazy. All right, let's keep moving. This has been a pretty awesome box, and as you see, I'm still at 48, 38 rolls left in the box here. There is 26 rolls left in the box here, and there is a lot of nice, really nice, actually, coins in here. I mean, look at these toners here from 83D. It's got like a bluish coloring to that 78 there. I pulled a bunch more 84s there. These are all the 2009s that I've got. All these are Denver across the top, and only one Philadelphia. Now this here is a little interesting. So let me pull these two over here just to let you see. That is a 2022 Denver. That's a 2022 Denver. Look at the colorations on those. I mean, this is a brand new coin. I mean, it's basically, sorry, the gout. My hand here is tough. Look at the coloration difference in them. That's like a red brown, and that's a red. Kind of odd, the colorations that's going on in it. So pretty wild. It's a nice little find there, though. I mean, I don't see a whole lot of 2022s. I mean, it's not any damage or anything on there. The rim looks good on it. So just a wild difference in there. But anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and jump on to the varieties here. Oh, and then too, so I did show you that we got that 1920S, and I pulled out a 1918. Yeah, buddy. getting in them teens and them 20s keep me in there, though. All right, let's look through the varieties. I'll bring it back in if I find something. Well, I'll pull the first coin out of the variety stack here. It's another 1984. And as you see right here, it's got a nice line. Let me move you in a little bit better. But it's got a nice line right there above the 9. I was seeing something behind the head here. It's just a little bit right there. A little tougher to see on there because the way the pattern is, the abrasion marks, it would say. I was looking for that doubled ear and don't really see it on there. But if you turn it over to the reverse side here, and right there in the pillar, the back of the neck again, that goes for the die clash going through there. You can definitely see that one. But it's not much here down below the building. But as I say, the way the coin is blotched, you can see a little bit right there actually. And do I see his chin, his cheek hair? Not really. It would be in one of these here, probably this one here. I'm not seeing it there. Let me tone it a little bit right there. Let's see. Possibly this right here, but ever so slightly. But yet again, you can definitely see it through the pillar there. That's definitely the same area there where the last die clash was at on the other 84. And you can definitely tell it's right there across the top side of the 1 and 9 where it was last time. Let's see if we get anything with pillars. This one's probably barely struck. Like some right here. But it's on there. So that's the die clash also for 1984. Man, that's wild. Anyhow, all right, let's keep moving. We are down to 10 rolls left in the box, and this thing just keeps producing. I mean, the last variety set I looked through, there wasn't much in there at all. I pulled across a couple of nicer coins there, which is a 70S and a 72S. But it's just the whole fact of how nice they are and able to look through these for varieties for anything that's going on here. So normally if they're normal coins, I'm just throwing them back in the bag. But if they have anything for variety attributes, I'm going to definitely hold on to them. But it's just nice that I'm having these quality of coins come out of here to check. We do have quite a few more of the 2009 Ds there. We actually got a Philadelphia for the possible extra finger on this one for sure. And then, so we got a 50D there for a Wheatie. And then I also pulled a 34 Philly. And it's in pretty decent condition there. It's a pretty nice 34 there. So we've got some really old wheat cents that are actually coming out of there. Let me go ahead and run through these varieties here. Hopefully I can find something. But if not, we'll keep moving along. Okay, I've been through probably about 10 coins here. So I have a 1989 sitting up under the scope. I'm not for sure what's going on. That 8, that 9. Now you see in the inside of the 8, it's a little bit in here. And then on the 8, it's on the outside. But it's not like machine doubling to where it would be smooshed all the way around, especially on the top. The 9 actually starts down here and ends right up here in the portion. This other 9 starts right here and basically stops. So it doesn't go all the way forward, but that's not what I'm really looking at. And what I'm looking at is the U and the S and the T here. So as you see in the inside of the S where it starts, comes through, and where it tops on the portion up here, the U looks like it's almost just split, like it's doubled on top. So it looks like a U stamped here and then another one stamped below it. And then the T actually has, I want to say this might be like the ridge area here where this T was just drug a little more. Probably the same thing with the S. So I'm not for sure on this one. Y'all let me know what you think on it. Now if you come over this way, the U, or the IN there is also the same way, like it was drug. But makes it a little different is the same thing with the L. See this L out here? I is also right here, this portion, the B. So not for sure. Now I'm looking online for Variety Vista. They do have a lot of the wording, lettering, the numbering and stuff like that. And then also too down here where the lower portion of the, see this piece right here, where this would be doubled also on the bottom portion here. See where it just stops. There's nothing else going on past it for it, but this right here would be doubled. So not for sure. Like I said, it's a lot standing out with it. Let me give it a good little spin. Yeah, so you can definitely see there's something there. There's something on the inside of the 9. See there, it has notch and it comes around. Looks like machine doubling to me, but I'm not positive on that. Like I say, the same thing with that US. It all looks like it's probably a DDO, possibly doubled. So it's about the only one so far. Let's keep moving. Got a 1983 Philadelphia underscope. It's got a nice little die chip right there, a little blotch right there in the middle of the 8. Move it to the top side here, though, is where a couple pieces are at. Nice little bar there in between the wee, but then it's like this piece here. See, there's a nice little chip there, and then it's got a crack. Goes all the way through his skull here. So that's interesting. That's mounted there with all this along with it. So just something to take a gander at. All right, well, I had the 2019 D set aside also. The reason why I pulled it across is there was a nice, possibly a die crack across here. It's lightly faded. I don't think it's damaged. I think it's actually on top. It's a little tougher to see. In my eyeball, it's way easier. But as normal, whenever I take these and I flip them around and looking at them, I always wanted to check the reverse. Look at this across here. Look at that. All the way across the top side of the penny in the back here. Nice little bar from edge to edge. Almost to edge, actually. Some shade on it. Anyhow, but it starts right over here by the A. Goes right across of all the way over there to the S. And actually touches that side of the rim there. So that's probably pretty interesting. Yet again, I don't know. I don't think it's a strike through error because it's not dug in. But I don't think it's a die break either. Pretty interesting. Looks pretty nice too. Nice little die chip on the shield there. Don't have anything on the inside of it. Any reflection wise. Nope. Just that huge crack right across the top side. And this is 2019. So these pennies should look, pretty pristine. As you see that right there on the 2019 there. If I can get it without the... Yeah, but it's there. But anyhow, I'm just going to hold it off to the side too because that's some definite damage on there. Quite a few more to go. Yet again, another 1985 under here. And you see the 9 that stops right here. 8 on the inside. Looks like the 8. The 5's got a little dimple. It doesn't even go all the way to the top up here. Just starts about, 3/4 of the way is up. Not seeing anything additional. I don't know if I can spin it. Additional on the 5. See, that's the only thing there. Nothing on the 1, nothing on the D. So I don't think you can get machine doubling on just a couple of them and then everything else not be maybe notching in the 1. Let me move over here and look over. Well, probably some in the B there. Yeah, the backside of the B. And usually the B is pretty bold. Let's look up here and in God We Trust. Not seeing anything there. Nothing there. Got my finger on the coin, which press it down. Oh, zoom in a little bit. I don't see anything. See if we get a little tighter. Not really seeing much on there. But yeah, that 9 and 8 and that little bit of the 5, maybe a smidge there in the D there. But would that be a repunched date. Would it be some doubling on there? Looks like it. Looks pretty good to me. Just let me know in the comments here. Well, I must say I'm actually sad that this box is empty. We still got quite a few varieties here to check through. I did pull a 2020 there. I'll show you here in a second. It's got something on it I can definitely see by my eyeball. Quite a few the 2009s, and we got an extra Philly one also on top there. Now we did pull out another 55 Denver and a 51 Denver there too. So we had our 34, our 18, and our 20S. We've got quite a few of the San Francisco mints here also, different years. So anyhow, let me go ahead and run through everything, and I will stack it all up for the wrap up at the end. And before I get to the end of the video here, just want to say about half of the folks who actually watch the videos are actually subscribed. If you would, just please hit that subscribe button. There's a lot of more videos to come out, a lot of good stuff that's happening on the channel here. To let y'all know too, those who are subscribed, there is a membership that you can get on the subscription for my video. There's basically, I think it goes into like a $3.99, $9.99, so forth, so on. So that right there is a membership portion, helps me out a lot. Then I'm able to think outside the box on getting different content, different boxes themselves, different albums, different so forth, so on. So, and then whenever we do that, whenever we have more memberships and more folks that join in, for one thing, you do get perks. You will get perks like say you've been a member for so long, you start to advance in little emblems as they have on there, or emojis more or less. So you'll have that little perk beside your name whenever you show up in chats. We will be having a separate membership chats to where go into let's say the $5.99 or whatever it is. I don't know exactly what it is in there, but anyhow, if you're a member, there is going to be chats that we as members and me will have video chats or video commentary or premieres or whatnot on there. So there's going to be a differential of that. I am going to link up my eBay and my Spotify information to the channel itself. So once we get around 1,000 folks, I'm able to then put all my stuff on there and just start selling it. I've got different avenues, different promo codes. So I'm just trying to reach that 1,000 subscriber mark so we can get that up and rolling. There's a lot of things for coin rolls, coin collecting. It's going to be a lot of these little 2x2 flips here, like staplers are going to be separate. You get rubber bands, you get coin rolls, you get boxes, bags, sleeves, Mylar flips. So a lot of it, I'm going to be talking with a couple of people who are going to supply this stuff as Whitman's, or there's going to be a couple album places there that I've talked to also in the past. So crossing fingers, we get more going whenever we get more people in membership and then more subscribers also. I like to mold the channel around a little more. I will have apparel on here. But anyhow, just wanted to talk a little bit about those folks who watch the channel. Make sure you subscribe. And then those folks too, also that are on the channel, make sure to check out the memberships on there. And there's always chance to mold it. It's just a basic format set up there. But if you want to talk about how maybe we can mold it in a different direction, or if those people who want to help out with it, just let me know. I just wanted to give you a shout out about it. All right, now on to the ending here. All right, I got everything lined out. So this right here would be all the San Francisco coins that we had stacked up in here. We did have two of the 68s. We had a 70 and a 72, 73 and a 74 San Francisco. Usually I don't get that very many San Francisco mints, or S mints as you would say, in a box, but we do have the 1918 Philadelphia. We have the 1920 San Francisco, 1934 Philadelphia, the 1951 Denver, and the 1955 Denver, which I checked everything on there. I didn't see anything for varieties based on there, which is perfectly fine because there is going to be several in there that are going to fill the album that we have. Now, I did pull off the 2022, which it was just a dull 2022. I mean, like I say, there's no damage to it. It's just a really dull look to where, you know, you should have a sheen on it like that for 2022, but this is kind of dull. We did have two of the 2005s. See, the 2005s the same way, just a dull, flat. Same thing with this one here. They almost look like they were copper. 2005 there, Denver. Just very plain and plaid. But anyhow, all these here will have something on them. So let's go one by one through here just to take a look. The 1984, that's the one we're going to have the die clash that's on the obverse and reverse of it. As you see in the backside of his head there. If I flip it over, you see there right in front of his nose. We'll flip it over to the reverse. And there's a portion of his head coming up here. See it lining right here. So I can pick it up just a little bit and show you. And it goes through the building where his chin, his beard, or his beard would be at, and his nose and stuff like that would come up. And as per mentioned, you go back here. This would be the back side of his neck, coming into his jacket area. And trying to turn it without putting my finger in there is a little tough, but it's right there. Come up here to the top, and it's the same thing. It's going to be right here. Come across the front side of E pluribus unum. But that's pretty awesome fun. That's a nice little die clash. And then this one is going to be the same way. This is going to be another 1984. It's got a little bit of notching on top of the 9 there. Just ever so slightly across there. I don't see very much on the back side of the head, but whenever you flip it over in the building, and again right here is the back side of his, basically where his jacket meets his head right here. So I'm not sure if we had anything showing there, possibly something right here, but yeah, a little bit of die clashing going on there. So that was a nice one here. So then we move on over to our 2020D. This 2020D, reason why I bring it off is because of this piece right here on his head. Across his head. Now, you don't even really need the scope. I want to say you could probably see it without it. Yeah. See on his head up there, on top of, right below God, right at the end of N. So that was just me looking at it from, you know, holding it in my hand, and I could already see there was something on it. So went ahead and pulled it off the side. A little interesting for a 2020 to have that on there. So this 8 and the 9 looks like they're going to be doubled because the 1 and the 9 here isn't. So possibly doubling on the 8 and 9 there. Let's scroll up here. Nothing on trust, nothing on we, and God. Yep, so it's got a little bit going on the 8 and the 9 there. So that's just interesting. I'm just going to hold it off to the side just in case it's something. I got to do a little more research on it, but looking at Wexlers and so forth, so on. Same thing with this one here. Got that 8 and 9, a little bit on the back side of this 9 here. Now that U, see the U looks like it's doubled up here and then the inside of it. Now the S is probably just something going on with the way the rim, the way the edging right here inside of the rim was pushed in, but possibly could be doubling. It's the reason why I was reaching out to you folks and see if y'all would let me know what you think about it. And then if you come over here, the I, the L, and the B, as normally these 3 will basically be an initiative to let you know that you will have a DDO on these coins, and those are usually the first letterings that you need. CERTY doesn't have anything on it, but that LIB does. So just a nice initiative to let you focus in a little more, possibly for DDOs. This is going to be that RPM possibly with that nice little repunch mint mark, which RPM means. Looks like it's a D over D there. It's got a little bit something on the 5, but not seeing anything up here along In God We Trust. So, yep, that's pretty nice. Let's move on here to the next one. which is a 2019D. This would be the one that I thought had a little something right here on the front, but then when I flipped it over to the reverse, that's when it had that crack all the way across, almost rim to rim. Basically, it stops right here at the end, but it goes all the way across the other side of states there. It ties into the edge of the coin. Little bitty die chip right there. So that's interesting. And these newer coins, to have that type of damage on there is kind of interesting to me, because they're supposed to be pretty flawless. That 9 and 8 have some doubling on it, looks like. A smidge on the 5 right there on the inside of the 5, and just a smidge right there on the inside of the D. So that's a pretty cool one too. I don't really see much on the, there's some bolder print on top there. The O looks fine. It doesn't look oblong or that fisheye look. All right, pop on over here to the next one we have. The next one we have 1983, and that's the one with that little die chip right there on top of 8. And then if you come up here, it's got that nice little bar across, and then right here where that little die chip is at, it has that crack that goes right along the head here. So just interesting, just something different. But man, all in all, this was a really awesome box. Took my time to look through it though, because it grabbed my attention from the first roll that we opened up in here. So pretty awesome. Anyhow, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. And then too, make sure you hit the subscribe button too. More videos to come. Definitely a lot more to come. Let's look Brad. I hope y'all have a great day.